Good morning. Good morning. How are you, everybody? Welcome to the Truly Myrtle podcast. Here again, every Thursday, 10 o'clock. I'm going live on Facebook in our Facebook group, which is the Truly Myrtle Knit and Chat. I think it's the Knit and Chat Hangout. It's the Hangout. We all call it the Hangout. I go live over there. So if you want to come and join us at Facebook, if you're not already there, come and join us and then you can see me inside there. But I'm also going live on YouTube now, which is really fun. So some of you, I'm sure, will pop in from YouTube. How are you all? I'm going to, I can see you coming in the door. Give me a hello. Tell me what's happening at your place today. Tell me what you're knitting. I'd love to hear what you're knitting. I can't tell you what I'm knitting. I can tell you that I'm really enjoying it and I don't want to put it down. And I'm using some beautiful, beautiful yarn. I can tell you that. But I can't tell you any specifics because it is another pattern for Wardrobe Toolbox. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Wardrobe Toolbox today because the doors open, it's on the 18th, next week. I think they might open next Friday or Saturday. I've lost track of the actual days, but it's the 18th of March. Morena, how are you? I'm not sure who that is. Someone calling in from Facebook. Good morning. No, YouTube this morning. Oh, there should be YouTube this morning. It should be there. Finger crossed. Let me see. Morning, Libby. Did you see my Maeve? Okay, tell me who that is. I don't know who that is. I've seen there's a couple of Maeves. Maeve was a pattern that we got in Wardrobe Toolbox. When did we get it? A couple of months ago. Must February. February we got it. And you'll see it this winter. I'm going to wear it to death. It's beautiful Kelly & Co yarn from Skeins. It's woolen spun tweedy yarn. They have it spun. It's a pure merino. They have it spun in Ireland. And I really love mine. It's over there in a box with all my other woolens. So I'll wear it. It's a yoke jumper. I've done it in reverse stockinette. So it really brings that tweedy yarn to life. And then it's just plain through the top. It's this nice yoke through the top with nice long cuffs. And then it goes down to pockets. This really deep band at the bottom, which is lace and pockets. And I've put a different color, a contrasting color in the pockets. I am going to just thrash. I just know I'm going to thrash that jumper. It's such a cool jumper. So I'm looking forward to the weather getting cool so I can put it on and I'll show you back then. I'll show you then. So at the moment it's just in Wardrobe Toolbox and I'll release it to everyone else next year. But if you do come and join us on Wardrobe Toolbox, you do have the chance to grab it in there when you come. All the patterns in Wardrobe Toolbox are available to purchase in there. You get free ones as we go along for the seasons that you're in, but all the prior ones, you get an opportunity to purchase those early if they haven't already been released and you want them. All right, let me see. So I'll see who it is. It's overcast and muggy, working on colours for double time. All the testers have started. There's a bunch of testers working hard on their double times. It's really nice to see all the different combinations of colours. And I'm getting another one made in the original I have done is in Fibre to Go, which is it's just lovely. I love it. It's a really nice, round, polished DK, superwash DK merino. Lovely. And we'll talk more about that when it comes. But I'm having a second one knitted up in some commercial yarn from Skeins, which is at a lower price point. So I just wanted to give people different options and just to see how you could do it differently. So that one uses Flight DK and Pulse. So for those of you who know that yarn at Skeins, that is the one we're using for another version. I'll do photos. I'll talk to you about it when it all comes out, and that will be April. So it's not too far away really, but the testers are knitting away, and because it's DK, of course, it grows like the wind. So they're going great guns. Hi Sabrina, how are you, Morena? Good to see you too. Good morning from Cairns. Nice to see you. Hey, Fiona, you're here. Brilliant. Oh, good. So you're coming in on YouTube now. Oh, it's you, Anna. Anna, I did see it. It looks gorgeous. So Anna is in Wardrobe Toolbox and she's made Maeve. It's finished. And she's done it stockinette side out. So she hasn't gone with the reverse stockinette. She's done it stockinette side out. And then she's just done the lace that I had at the bottom. It's kind of sort of like a cable cross lace. It's no cable, but it's kind of got that look to it. It's like a lovely rib. It's like a lace rib, really, I suppose. And it's flipped the other way. It looks really good. Anna, are you pleased with it? It looks really good. It's I just love seeing how you do things. You take these patterns and you make them yours. I love that. So that's great. Hey Robin, nice to see you. Oh good, yeah, YouTube's good now. Must have been a bit slow getting started, do you think? I know Barbara. So Barbara's one of my testers and she's knitting double time, ain't no stripes. So I don't understand the compulsion not to have stripes because I'm a very stripy person, but she's doing a no stripe version. So you will get to see that as well. Oh yeah, you're looking forward to wearing your Maeve as well, Morgan. Yours looks fantastic. Morgan's done a beautiful khaki, sort of khaki green one. It's sort of, actually, it might be more mossy, isn't it, Morgan? It looks really good. Yeah, you finally got me live on YouTube, Alyssa. Someone else is saying, I love my Maeve. I knitted mine in Malabrigo Rios. It's pure luxury. It certainly will be in Rios. It will just be like clouds to touch. And oh, I can just imagine curling up in that with a hot cup of something and just feeling just so decadently cozy. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I keep losing your sound. I don't think it's me. Oh, hopefully it sounds like it's all good. Hopefully it isn't you, but it might be you. Person who said that. Hi, everybody who's saying hi. Sound good here. Made it to a live. Nearly finished yours as well, says Barbara. Brilliant. Yes, the reverse side of the lace is really lovely in Maeve. So I'll talk to you about that next year because that'll come out next year. I'm just seeing what everybody. Oh, here we are, coming to the bottom of these comments now. Good morning from Sydney. Waiting for my yarn to arrive from Fibre to go for my double time. Excellent. Yes, so that must be you, Anna. Your Maeve is reverse stocking stitch on the body, and I flipped the band to the reverse side. It looks really good. I'm starting to see them all pop up. Wardrobe Toolboxes have been knitting away on their Maeves. And we did a whole lesson about pockets, different kinds of pockets, and how to really create a really lovely finish when you're stitching down the back of your pockets, because these ones are knitted pocket flaps at the back, and then you stitch them down. And so we've got a bunch of lessons on that inside. Oh, the Rios is yours, Barbara, with the reverse lace band. Nice. Some of you guys are so busy knitters. It's really lovely to see. So I thought I'd talk to you about a couple of things today. I wanted to just let you know that the doors for Wardrobe Toolbox open next week. So I will talk to you one more time about it before it happens. And I know a few of you who are here watching now are in Wardrobe, quite a few of you, I think, are in Wardrobe Toolbox. So you already know what happens inside. But I thought it would be helpful because I saw people mention they were quite keen to hear about what it involved before they wanted to jump in. So I thought I would tell you that. I first of all wanted to talk about some of the main things that I'm hearing from people inside Wardrobe Toolbox. There's probably two main threads that I hear over and over again. And the first one is, I hear this a lot. I tried something I never thought I'd try. That general idea that it's just that whole, I can't believe I did it. I actually did it. I did this. Like I never even thought about doing it, or I never thought I could do it. And then here I am, all of a sudden, I'm doing it. It's working. And I'm making things that feel fantastic and fit me really well. And it's just that general sense of confidence. It's a real confidence builder. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One, because I think that we just tackle things bit by bit by bit. And there's lots of opportunities to go back and really reinforce what you know. In fact, I saw someone's comment the other day and she said, I just thought I'd give it one more go at looking all the stuff about swatching. I just can't figure it out, and I'll just give it one more go. And she went back and she said, I just looked at it all again and I watched the videos, because there's lots of videos. So you can watch me talking to you about things, and I walk you through lots of things I've written and handouts and tutorials and things. And she looked at it one more time and she said, light bulb. It all just came together and now she gets it. And so you have got the opportunity of just going back to basics, things being broken down into little chunks. And I think that life in general feels easier when you experience small successes. I have always felt this about kids, that it's really good to have lots of little successes. It makes you feel like a success, and then you have an expectation that you will succeed. So that's all. We do that within Wardrobe Toolbox. There's lots of opportunities to glean little pieces of information to fill in all those gaps, because most of us are self-taught. I'd say 99.9% of us are self-taught when it comes to knitting, in terms of all the techniques we use and all of the knowledge we have about making a garment and making a garment fit us and finishing it, in terms of beautiful finish. So it looks beautifully handmade. We have lots of gaps. And so there's a real opportunity to have little successes all the way along and fill those gaps. So I hear that a lot, all the time. People wear things they've made, and they wear them and they feel fantastic. And then they also look back at things they've made in the past and think, oh, I get why that one didn't work now. And I've got the skills to make it, so it will fit me. And the fabulous thing about knitting is that we can just rip it out and start again. We can just reuse that yarn if we want to. Or we also talk about ways to wear things so that we can still wear the things that we made before that may not be perfect, or the clothes we already have that we may have decided they're not perfect for us, but we can mix them up and we can wear them in such a way that actually we're feeling okay in them. We're feeling better in them, and they work for us better. So we cover lots of things. I talked about that a little bit last week, where we cover the sort of techniques of knitting, as well as looking at us. Who are we knitting for? What are our measurements? What shape are we? Who are we? Who are we? Like, what style do we like to wear? And how am I going to get that? And all of the steps along the way. So there's lots of opportunities for lots of little successes, and that builds confidence. All right, I'm just going to have a little look what you're saying. Marie's in Wardrobe Toolbox, learning how to measure myself was a game changer. And it is. And I hope that we take some of the angst out of it, because on the whole, there are all women in Wardrobe Toolbox, only women. There are no men in Wardrobe Toolbox, not at the moment. And it has always been a place that women have gravitated towards. And we're not all middle-aged, because I know that there's a wide range of ages in there, but there is a clump who are sort of in their 40s, 50s, 60s. But I know we go down to 20s and up to 70s. We have a lovely range of ages. The thing about that is we get to support each other, and we understand, someone's been there before with whatever you're dealing with. There is someone like you. There's a lot of people inside Wardrobe Toolbox, and it's just really nice to do this together. I think it's really nice to do it together. So I think that we managed to create an environment where we're positive. We have a positive attitude about ourselves, and we want to feel good, and we want to have a bit of energy, and we want to have enough energy to make things that we can wear so we feel even better. It's like this beautiful perpetual thing going on there. Here's Anna again. She said they've got a Wardrobe Toolbox group on the North Shore in Auckland, and they meet every week. There's great camaraderie, fun, knitting, and meetups with like-minded people, all ages and fun. And I know those groups meet all over the world, actually, because someone was telling me about one that they went to the other day in the South Island. And I know that there are people through America that meet up. So it's really nice to hear that there are people all over the world that share this Wardrobe Toolbox love, at least the things we talk about in there. We all have this shared and understanding that this kind of positive focus on, I don't know, it just runs really deep. It's not all, it runs deep, I think, this creative urge, and a positive creative urge. I think that's what kind of brings us together. Barbara says, morning. I've got my wool ready for Maeve, but I've got knitting to finish for grandchildren first, or I might get shot by my sister. Yeah, Barbara, do that first. At least they're small. Hopefully they're small. Grandchildren. Yes, Marie, your garments actually fit now. And someone says I must be an oldie. Look, there is a wide range of ages. But to be honest, we don't even talk about that really, do we? There isn't a thing. I just have a sense that that we are, I don't know, I just have a sense that we've got a bit of life experience, a lot of us, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's a really lovely thing. So the other thing that I hear all the time about Wardrobe Toolbox is this confidence aspect. But the other thing I hear all the time is how much people are enjoying the community. And that goes back to what I was saying before, this sort of positive, creative urge that we cannot stop. It's bigger than us. This drive, creative drive that so many of us have, that it's not a want, it's a need. It's this need to create, it's this need to do something with our hands. It gives us an enormous amount of solace in our lives, and it gives us an enormous amount of pleasure. It feels incredibly productive, and those are good feelings to have. And there's a sense that we're doing it together, so it's fine. It's a good thing. We all enjoy it and we celebrate it together. And it's that general support of one another. So for those of you who are watching on Facebook and you're watching inside the wardrobe, the Truly Myrtle Hangout, you're watching this podcast, you will already have a sense of the community that we create around Truly Myrtle and around the things that we do, because it's overwhelmingly positive, and it's overwhelmingly encouraging of you figure out what works for you, and we're all going to like cheer, yes, you can do it, you look fantastic, oh, we celebrate that with you. That kind of, it's not silly, it's just real. It's really supportive and real. And I think that those of us in the hangout, you have a sense of that, and it's that in Wardrobe Toolbox. In the hangout, we keep our comments, our topics are restricted to things to do with Truly Myrtle. So we talk about Truly Myrtle patterns and Truly Myrtle yarn. And that's, we have a kind of a container there to discuss those things. And Wardrobe Toolbox, it's much broader. We talk about creativity in general, and we talk about making clothes in general. So a lot of people are sewers, there are weavers, there are spinners, there are quilters, there are all sorts of things that people do. And we talk about things in a more general sense over there when it comes to creativity. So we still have that focus on the things that can bring us together. Those are the things we focus on, and they're overwhelmingly positive and supportive, but it's a broader focus than we have within Truly Myrtle. So those are the things I hear. I think it's a place where people can just exhale. They can relax, they can indulge themselves in these things that we find important in our lives. And it's fun. It's just really fun. It's great doing it together. It's an escape from some of the crazy of the world as well. So those are the things I hear. The community is important to people. They really enjoy the community. Now, not everybody is in the Facebook group. The groups are on Facebook. They both are. I've toyed back and forth about whether or not we create a group somewhere else, and I just haven't got a good enough alternative option yet that I feel everybody will want to move over to. I talk about it, and one day maybe something will come along. But right now we're on Facebook, just like for the hangout. Now, not everybody is in there. Most people are in there, but not everybody is in there. But don't feel that it leaves you out, because we have regular emails all the time, and we share things that are happening. And we, people send me photos, and I can share those with each other. And the other really nice thing that we have is we have all our get-togethers, which are almost weekly, sometimes twice a week. There's 1 week in the month where we have our new month and our new lesson and a new pattern and things like that, but we don't have a live video. But otherwise, we have live videos every single week. You don't have to come. They're all recorded, all except one. The one that isn't recorded is the knit night, and the knit nights are really, really fun. And so the knit nights are long. They can go for an hour and a half, where we all bring our bits and pieces we're working on and we share them. And there's no requirement, but people jump on the screen and they show each other what we're working on, and we get to chat and we get to know each other, and we get to follow each other through the progress. The largest group of Wardrobe Toolboxes is still the group that joined in the beginning. The founding members are still 3 years ago. They are still the largest group, and so people have really got to know each other. It's not cliquey. New people are welcomed with open arms. We love seeing new people. And there are still people in our knit night who have been here right from the beginning or from close to the beginning, who are only now deciding that they will jump on the screen and show us what they're working on. And they've just built up the confidence to say, oh, sod it, I'm just going to do it. Go, me, put my hand up. I'm jumping on the screen. I'm going to talk to you guys. Because it's, because we're all just normal people. We're all just regular people, beautifully flawed people. And so it's easier. It's easier, I think, to do that in that kind of environment. So the Wardrobe Toolbox knit night is not recorded, but we have the opportunity to come on and see each other and chat to each other in comments. And so that community, while there is one on Facebook, is not just limited to Facebook. It is an ethos that runs through the whole of Wardrobe Toolbox, that doing it together philosophy. So that's a big part of it. But what I thought I'd do is I'd just give you a rundown of what's inside for people that are thinking about joining. What's actually inside? What does it involve? Because I know people worry about, will I have enough time? Or will I be able to keep up? Is it too hard? Do I have the right skills? All of those things I know people worry about. My answer would be, you'll be fine, actually. You'll be fine. Take what works for you and leave the rest, and do what you can. There is so much content you're not expected to keep up. It's not school. I say this every time. It's not, there's no test, there's no exam. We're not quizzing you on anything. There's like nothing. You just do what you want. And the way Wardrobe Toolbox is set up now with the new website, and we're still working out kinks in that website. It will be a constant evolution, that website, as we work out better and better ways of bringing you content. But what happens now is when you come into Wardrobe Toolbox, you get access to everything we've done before. And so 3 years we've been putting together content for Wardrobe Toolbox. Every month there's a new lesson. Every month we have a new question and answer session. Every month there's a new knit night, but they're not recorded. But there is a new knit night. Every month there's a new masterclass. Sometimes we also have a bonus session where someone comes in and talks to you. And every second month there's a new pattern. So there's a lot of content in there. Please try not to feel overwhelmed. I'm hoping it's set up in a way so that you don't feel overwhelmed. There's a good search page so you can go and find the things that you want. I make a real effort now, because we can access everything all together like a smorgasbord. When I put out a new lesson or a new piece of content for you, I always include a little button that says, like, take me to the bundle. And then I try and pull in everything that relates to whatever it is we're talking about. And you can click that button and a page will pop up, and it will give you different masterclasses from time gone where we've had guests come in and talk to us. And we'll give you other lessons that kind of relate to this topic we're talking about, so that you can have this broader look at it if you want. You don't have to look at any of it. My mum's in Wardrobe Toolbox, and she's probably listening now. I don't think she's looked at any of the lessons ever at any time, but she really enjoys being part of it. And she really enjoys the free patterns, and she really enjoys the community side of it. So she just likes to, and she doesn't even comment that much, but she just likes to see what's happening and feel like there's people out there who get her, who understand what she loves too. So there is a ton of stuff inside. The way it works is we work in 6-month seasons. So we do 6 months at a time. The doors open in March. So they're opening next week on the 18th, and they open in September. So they always open the 18th of March and the 18th of September. And the rest of the time, the doors are shut. So if you want to jump in and you're not quite ready at the moment, you can just go on the waiting list and you'll hear next time when the doors open. When you join, you sign up. You can sign up to being a monthly member, or you can sign up to being a season member, which means you pay either every month or you pay for a season. It's slightly cheaper to pay for a whole season at a time, or you can just pay every month. And the price that you sign up with will be your price forever. You won't have a price rise. So although the price has gone up over time, over the last 3 years, because the very first few were extremely good value, it still is very good value for everything you have in there, and your price will stay the same. The price is still going to be the same as it was last time. I'm going to keep the current price for a while now. I appreciate that things, things are getting more expensive. I appreciate that for people, and I want you to still be able to have access to all of this stuff and be part of this. I'm keeping the price the same, which I think, someone could correct me, I think it's $38.50 a month, New Zealand. So if you don't live in New Zealand, you'll find that is substantially cheaper in your currency. New Zealand dollars always look more expensive, but $38.50 a month and you get everything. So that you'll sign up. And then when you sign up, you get into the community straight away, and then we usually have a few days before the whole new season kicks off. So the new season this time will kick off, and I think it's about the 4th of April, something like that. So we'll finish up March, and the new season, the new month, always begins on the first full week of the month. And what happens in the first week is that I email you every week. Every week you get emails from me, and I tell you what's going on, and I show off beautiful things that people have been making, and I tell you what's happening this week, and I give you lots of reminders about Zoom calls and how you can join in that week. And you kind of just have to sit back and enjoy it, really, because we give you lots and lots of stuff to remind you about things. But in the first week of every month, we have new content. We have a new lesson. We always pick a topic every month, and they range from anything from style through to yarn, through to specific techniques, all manner of things we talk about. And we have a new lesson every month, and they usually comprise videos from me. There's often a series of videos where we're talking about a new topic. Sometimes I'm showing you how to do things. They always come with a handout so that you can refer back later. Some people like to print them off and put them into a folder. And then, like I said before, they'll link to a bundle of things that relate to that issue, if it does relate to another issue. And so that comes at the beginning of the month. On the first month of the season and every subsequent month after that, so it's 3 times in one season of 6 months, you will also get a free pattern. And the patterns are anything from, we've had a lot of garments, we're quite garment heavy, and we've also had socks, and we've had cowls, and we have shawls, and we haven't had any hats yet. We might have a hat at some point. I think there's things we can talk about heads. So we might have a hat at some point. And there's a new pattern that comes, and sometimes I tie the lesson back to the pattern. So for example, our last garment that we had, the Maeve one I was talking about before with the pockets, our lesson was about pockets. And I think ages ago when I brought out a cardigan that had a lot of short rows, our lesson was about short rows. And another time when we put in set-in sleeves and we learned how to put our own sleeves into our own short row top-down sleeves into a garment, our lesson was about those sleeves. So sometimes I will try and bring it back to the garment or whatever it is we're doing, the shawl or the garment. And so that's the first week. And you have the entire week. There's no other interruptions. That week you have the lesson with its videos. You can just watch that whenever you like. And we have a new pattern if we have a new pattern. And often we'll have a knit along that goes along with that pattern. And that will start that week as well. Then in the second week, we generally have our question and answer session. And it's your chance to send me your questions in advance if you can't join in the live show. You can bring your questions to the live show as well, and we get to talk about things that you've got about the lesson we just did, or questions you have about the pattern that we might have just received. Generally, questions about the stuff that we're talking about that month, our theme for the month. So we do that in our question and answer session. They generally run for an hour, not any longer. They're always recorded. They're up and on the website the same day, and I'll let you know when they go live. You'll also get reminders the day before and the half an hour before they go live. So you don't have to worry about remembering lots of things. You do get a calendar every month that tells you exactly what's on when. So you can refer to that. But I always remind it's coming up. We'll see you tomorrow. See you in half an hour. And you can join in if you can. And if you can't, I'll tell you when the replay's up. And then in the third week, and some of these things sometimes shuffle around just a little bit, depending on availability of guests and and whether it's Christmas and things like that. But generally we have in the second or the third week, we also will have something called a fit night. Now, fit night doesn't happen every month, but it does happen often. And our fit night is your chance to bring your garments and your knitting that you're working on, where you're stuck or you're very proud, and you bring it to our fit night and you ask us about it. And you ask us, where have I gone wrong? Or this is how it looks, or this is my issue. How can I fix that? Or you might say, look, I'm so pleased with this. I did this. It's absolutely awesome. And I made this and it looks fantastic. And I just want to show everybody. And if you're like me, like this is what I did, it's a great chance for that too. So we're talking about fit, and we're talking about you specifically, your pattern specifically, and fit. It's really helpful to me when you send me your things in advance, because I get a chance to do a bit of research for you. And then I can tell everybody else, and I can tell you, we can guide you towards things that will help you, and we can give you specific answers if we can on the spot at that fit night. The other thing we have in the third week is a masterclass. Now, the masterclasses are some of my favorite sessions, actually. And every month we get a guest that joins us, and we have had some incredible guests over the last 3 years, and they come and talk to us about all sorts of things. They talk to us about everything from yarn production to putting colors together to what do I wear, does my bra fit, what else have we had lessons about? Learning how to spin, drawing little images of yourself onto croquis. We've talked about that was more spinning. We talked about spinning cotton. Oh, look, we've talked about all sorts of things. Handmade wardrobes, sewing things we've had. It's like a Pandora's box, the masterclasses, because there is no end of things that we can talk about. So I have a great deal of fun hunting around for masterclass guests. Sometimes they come back a couple of times. We really enjoy that, because we get to know them a bit better. And so those are really fun. So the masterclasses, again, you can come along. There's invariably an ability to ask questions of those specific guests. They last 1 hour, those sessions. You can ask questions, and we get to talk about things that you've got specifically relating to that masterclass. And they're really good. I thoroughly enjoy the masterclass sessions. Sometimes I interview the person, and other times they have a full-on lesson for us. They come in and they're prepared, and they just go boom, 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 and they teach us all this stuff. So good, so good. So those are the masterclasses. And then, so that's generally the main content that we had. We have fit nights, question and answers, masterclasses, new lessons, new patterns. That happens every month. And at the end of the month, we also have our knit night. So the last week of the month is our knit night. And those, like I said before, they're longer. They usually go for an hour and a half. And they're very relaxed. And they are the most beautifully serendipitous occasions, because we don't even know that we needed to know all the beautiful things that were out there. We enjoy seeing yarn that people have spun and turned into something fabulous. We have been loving watching wedding dresses be sewn. We love watching garments grow. We love watching people talk about their color choices through time and how that changes. We love watching them. We love hearing about them, about new yarn in their area that they're discovering. We love seeing them talk about things that are specific to their region of the world. And so, you know, whether they're knitting in Guernsey, or whether they have a local dye to them that they absolutely love, and local breed animals, all sorts of things. All sorts of things are talked about. It is a lot of fun. So that's our knit night, and that happens at the end of the month. It does sound like a lot, but I just want to remind you, you take what you love and you just leave the rest. And you don't even have to agree with the things I teach you. You might listen to a lesson I teach you and think, well, do you know what, Libby? I've actually got a better way of doing that. And I say, that is cool. And that is absolutely fine. So you just can indulge as much or as little as you like. And I encourage you not to feel behind, because there's always the opportunity to dive back in and look at things. People talk about going back and they say, it's a rainy day here and I've got my knitting and I'm just binging on a whole lot of material from Wardrobe Toolbox, and they catch up on old stuff. So and if you have a specific question about something, you're making a specific thing and you think, I wonder if we did something about buttonholes. Yes, we did. And go in and have a little look, and you can search up buttonholes and you can click buttons that take you to the right place. And there we have lessons about different kinds of buttonholes and buttonhole finishes and all sorts of things to do with buttonholes. And you quickly learn what you need to know in order to work on the thing you're working on. So it's both expanding our horizons, I hope, giving us little bites at the confidence cherry. We can just do it all the time, feel a bit more confident. Oh, I've got that. I've got that. Oh, that's broken down. It's not so hard after all. I think I can do that. And as well as giving you specific tools when you need them to help you with the things that you're working on. So I didn't also mention that sometimes we have bonus sessions. We have extra guests because I just think we have to talk to them as well. So sometimes I bring in a bonus session and we have another session about something that is completely unexpected, but we needed to talk to that person anyway. So we have those as well. Right, let me just see some of your comments because I can see you chatting away there. Here we go. Janice says, after knitting for 55 plus years, I've learned so much on Wardrobe Toolbox. It's the best investment I've made. Oh, that's really good to hear, Janice. And that's something we do here. And I think that it also gives us permission, I think, to focus on it. Like, it's okay. It is actually okay to learn more about knitting. It's okay to knit more. It's okay to knit things for ourselves. And it's okay to want them to fit. And so I think it gives us permission to really take a deep dive into those topics. Alyssa says, I only knit about a third of the patterns. I love being able to go back to relevant lessons when I need the confirmation that I'm doing something right. Well, that's good. That's a nice positive way of looking at it for sure. Anna says, I'm getting used to the website, but since I've joined, I've learned so much and I'm a very busy person. So I watch whatever it suits me. I watch whenever it suits me. What I miss, the knit nights and the Facebook group. Yeah, so and what I try and do is I do try and vary the times of things because I appreciate that we've got people from all over the world inside Wardrobe Toolbox. So I do try and vary the times. Now I have to be like within reason. I can't get up in the middle of the night and my family gets cross if I miss too many dinners. So, but I do try, like next week, one of our sessions is 7:00 at night, my time. And I thought, well, that would be good for people after work. Here in New Zealand and certainly in Australia, and it won't be the best for some of the people through America, but actually the people in the UK, that might be okay for you. I do find that this time of the morning, 10:00, I know it's not ideal for everyone working in New Zealand, but I do find it's a really good time for a lot of people to be awake. So I will often do things in the mornings, but again, there is a replay. But sometimes I'll do a Saturday morning. I'll do a Friday night. I'll do afternoons. I try and vary it a bit. And of course, sometimes I do what suits the guests as well. Janice says, I'm the same, Alyssa. Having access to patterns as and when I want to knit them is great. Yeah. So what happens is when you join the season, so the season coming up is season 7, you can leave anytime you like. If you pay month to month, you can leave anytime you like. If you pay for the whole season, that's it. You've paid for the whole season. You can leave, but you've already paid for the whole season. So that just you're in for the whole season. But you can just leave anytime you like. Of course, we don't encourage you to leave, but if you need to, of course, you just email us and that we sort that out for you. But what it means is if you're in season 7, which is coming up, you will get access to all the patterns, the 3 patterns that are released in season 7. You will automatically get those. You will always have access to those. If you leave the platform, you lose access to everything. Although you can download stuff before you leave. You can download all the patterns you've received. You can download all the PDFs you've received. You can just like get the information you want to keep and keep that to one side. It's a little bit like Netflix in that regard. So it's you pay when you're in, you get access to everything. When you leave, you don't have access to things. So that's how it works. When you join, the people that joined in, the founding members of Wardrobe Toolbox, have got access to all of the patterns because they were here for all of those seasons. The people that joined in now, will be able to see all the other patterns available, but you will have the chance to purchase them once you're inside. So what that means is some of them you might already have because you've already bought them previously when they were released. But others, the ones from the last season, not all of those have been released yet. So it just gives you early access to stuff as well. Hi from Edinburgh, Glenda. Alyssa says, it's the best investment I've made regarding knitting. I've got a similar number of years knitting. Oh, that's so good to hear. Karen says, I joined in season 2 and love it. Wardrobe Toolbox has lessons, tip sheets I can print off, patterns every other month, and a real community of makers. I like seeing other needlework skills. It's great value. Oh, that's really nice to hear, Karen. Someone loves hearing my rooster in the background, and they want different hat patterns and fits would be great. Yeah, that's a topic I've actually it's on my whiteboard. So I'm thinking that we did a whole lot of stuff around socks years ago. A couple of years ago, we did a whole lot of stuff around feet and measuring feet and knitting for other people and making adjustments for high insteps and flat feet and stuff like that. So I think it would be quite good to have a little look at heads. We haven't looked at heads, so I think we'll do that. Karen said, I recently joined another designers club and it's way more expensive, but I'm finding much less helpful in terms of skills and I won't be renewing. Oh, that's a shame, Karen. Look, I'm glad that you are enjoying Wardrobe Toolbox. It's not going to suit everybody, just like other people's courses don't suit everybody. But I really encourage you to just, if it doesn't suit you, it's not the end of the world. And if it does, and you just take what you love and leave the rest. I like to think that that I can break things down in a way that makes them really good to understand, really easy and simple to wrap your head around. But like the person I talked about before with the swatching, sometimes we do have to come back to things a few times. And what can be really interesting is when we feel like we've suddenly got something, is to then turn our head back to look at some of the things we've done before, and we'll see them all in a totally different light because we'll hear things in the lessons that we hadn't heard before. Because so many of you have been in for so long now, and I have watched your skills just accelerate, and now you're at a completely different stage of knitting. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you new information and lessons pictured at different levels. That's quite a challenge, let me tell you. But I do try and address things as if you haven't come across it before. And then if you've done a little bit and you're feeling like you just want to have a little bit of a play with it. And then if you're a bit more advanced, what can you do that makes it more interesting? So I'm working at that top level more and more so that we can expand our skills. And I hope some of the patterns might give you that chance too. You don't have to be an experienced garment knitter to come in. It does help if you're a knitter. We're not going to teach you how to knit. But you may have made garments and they may not have worked. Maybe you've never made a garment before. That doesn't matter. I think the garments on the whole are the kind of, we help you out for a start. We give lessons around a lot of the garments so that they will help you knit them. There's a lot of help available to you if you want to have a bash. I just figured no mountain is too big to climb. You just have to start one step at a time. So I that's just my general philosophy on life. Like you can pretty much do most things if you want to. Anything if you want to. So I hope that you get that message from me. You know, you can do it too. You can do it. Sometimes it just takes a few goes. You know, I think I did that button band the other day on that cardigan about 6 times. Sometimes I have to redo things over and over, and I am always learning as well. But, you know, we can do it. We absolutely can do it. We just have to sometimes focus a little bit, concentrate, practice, relook at it, step away, you know, have a hot drink, come back, try again. It's really good for us and our perseverance. Carson Demers, he was absolutely fantastic, wasn't he? We love his classes. Same with Stacia. She did some amazing master classes for us. I'm planning to check out the lesson you made to do that fancy bind off because it looks better than mine. I really love all the guests too, who take me to places I never even thought about. Oh, that's good to hear. And finally, I so enjoy seeing people I've become familiar with modeling what they've made, especially ones with my body shape. It's absolutely inspiring, and I so enjoy you all. Oh, that's really nice. It's really nice to hear. Barbara says, I tend to keep going back and rewatching lessons. Yeah, do you know, even I do that, Barbara, for my own lessons. But I find them really helpful. If I just, because you can't keep everything in your head. I think that's the other thing about it. If we think of Wardrobe Toolbox like an encyclopedia, we don't have to remember the whole encyclopedia, but it's really nice to have the encyclopedia. So when we're stuck, even if we've learned it before, we can go back and remind ourselves. And one of the beauties of that is we don't have to remember everything all the time as long as we know where to look for it. As long as we know that it's there, or if it's not there and we're stuck, you guys can put up your hands. I am so open to ideas. I love hearing what you want. I do try and do things that you want. You tell me you want a V-neck, I bust a gut and I get you a V-neck. I just really try to do things that you need right now. So if there's something in there that you want, I know you do tell me. You do. I know you tell me already, but feel encouraged. If you want to tell me, you're not the only one. Everybody tells me. So that's absolutely fine. Amanda says, I've learned so much from my time at Wardrobe Toolbox, and also the knit night inspiration is amazing, but it's bad for my number of whips. Yes, we know all about your number of whips, Amanda. Someone said, oh, good. No, we're getting closer to being done, but you've still got plenty of time to join us on Facebook. You had a bit of a trouble this morning. Amanda says, also meeting up with other local Wardrobe Toolboxes. There's a group of us who still meet up as often as we can, and I've made some awesome friends in the process, and that I love to hear. Oh, good. Now, someone's got a good idea. Someone said, I appreciate everything you do to get it in my head. I write it down in a book now and go back to it. That's a good idea. It's a really nice idea. And in fact, you know what? I would love to bring you a knitting journal. I have had planning that for quite a while, and I would love to do something for you where you can have proper spaces to put things down in it. It's definitely an idea that I've been percolating on for a while. But in the meantime, just grab your notebooks. And also, at the beginning of every season, we have a cover page. We have for that season 6, season 7, whatever season, it's going to be season 7. There are handouts. You can put everything into folders. I know some people have right from the beginning, everything is printed and popped into their folder. You can go back and you can find things. It's lovely. Can I ask what my top is? You're totally blank here. This is Nula. My Nula top. I thought I'd wear her today. She's that lovely full linen top. I've got her on with a sparkly. I'll show you underneath. I've got sparkles underneath. I actually had this vision this morning. I thought it's nice having some sequin. I really like sequins. I never thought of myself as a prissy person. I'm not really particularly prissy or frilly person, although I really like frills and I really like sequins. So, there you go. But I was thinking, if there's ever an apocalypse, I'm going to wear sequins because why not? Might as well. Got to keep them. So I'm quite pleased. I got this little one at an op shop. They're massive sequins on it. But I'm wearing a sequin top underneath. Nula. So she's the one that we knit down the side. We knit the shoulders and then you pick it up and she's really full. And she has no sleeve added. The sleeve is included. But in Wardrobe Toolbox, when did we have that one? Before Christmas. Just before Christmas. We had another top called Paloma, which I've worn a lot this summer. I actually just wore her the other day, which is also a summer top with the same idea. I love this construction. So she has the same idea. She has a shoulder panel, but she has more of a slightly smaller body. Well, a bit smaller body. She doesn't have all this extra fabric here. She's smaller and she has little sleeves off the edge. And a high-low hem and things like that. I really like Paloma. I've enjoyed her. I actually want another one. And I appreciate your work. There's always something new there to learn or relearn. I love going back and watch the lessons a few times to understand better. Anna, that's great. It's really good. And I think we all benefit from that. And I hope that every time we hear it, we hear something else in there, because I just think that's the way of things, isn't it? We do hear more. Alyssa says, sometimes I take part of a pattern and I adapt the rest to suit my shape. For example, reef. That's the little V-neck tank top I've got. I took the lovely top V-neck and added a swing A-line lower half. Nice. And that is the thing that we really encourage you to do in Wardrobe Toolbox, is to make things yours. I really encourage you to. I encourage you to take a pattern here that you love and a pattern here that you love and bring them together. I encourage you to throw a completely different look on it by using different yarn. We learn a lot about yarn. We learn a lot about color. We learn a lot about us and our shape and our style and what suits us. And when we pull all of that information together, we really do create things that we love and we love to wear. So I encourage you to do that. Anna says, over 70 years knitting, never too old to learn something new, and so refreshing. There's really positive vibes in Wardrobe Toolbox. Oh, that's lovely to hear, Anna. I think so. And I said before about a range of ages, but we don't notice any. We don't notice age, do we? It's just we focus on the things that bring us together, and well, we're all the same age in our head, I think. Anyway, so but we really do focus on the things that bring us together, and to me, that's a refreshing change in the world. It's the world I want to live in, so I just make it happen, and I hope, and I'm pretty sure that everybody in there enjoys it. So interesting, the construction on it. Yes, it's a fun, really fun construction. Marie. So Marie, the Paloma top in Wardrobe Toolbox has the same. And the other one that has the same construction of this, which I also love, is Serpentine. Serpentine is knitted in Brooklyn tweed shelter yarn, and it's got a cable that runs down really long with a long cuff, and then a different construction at the bottom of the body. It's really good. I love knitting. But I have zero skills in designing any fabric or garments. Making things my own would be hugely beneficial if I could master it. It's one step at a time. It's one little thing at a time. And I think the things that make it doable, the things that make it possible to make things yours, are some of those core issues that we go back to over and over. So I think when you start developing a broader knowledge about yarn, I found this myself. I say this because this is exactly what I've found. When I grew a larger knowledge about yarn, it opened the doors to more possibilities with my knitting. It opened the door to taking a pattern and mixing it up. And it's not just changing the color. I'm talking about the different fibers that I'm using and the yarn construction that I'm using. When you understand more, you can do more with that knowledge. The same with gauge. When we understand how we can make gauge work for us and why it's not a waste of time, it's a really useful thing to do in advance because it saves you so much time, and it just allows you the opportunity to really take a few risks that you might not have taken if you just launched into the garment itself. So when we talk about that, it really helps. Color is a thing. And when we talk about putting colors together and open our minds to the possibility of putting things together that are wildly different from anything we might have done before, or be completely reassured that everything we've already done is perfectly okay. Yes, we're allowed to keep doing more of it. Who cares how many blue jumpers you've got? Just keep making them if you love them. Those sorts of things. So we keep coming back to those things. Your body, your shape, how to make different changes. And it's just those little, it's like bricks in a wall. And when you get some of those bricks, then it gives you the confidence, like I was talking about, to try things that you might not have tried. And then you have success, and then you feel good, and then you tell everyone about it. And that reinforces this community that we have around us. So everything feeds everything else. I think that's how life should work. And so that's just what we do. It's fun. Okay, everybody, I'm going to disappear on you now. That was a long chat about Wardrobe Toolbox, but I am hugely, hugely passionate about it. I sit down. I have to pinch myself that I get to do this all the time, and I find everybody so completely inspiring. So it really gets me excited about doing more. I have an insatiable urge to create things. I've done enough. I've made enough children now. So now I have to just do all the knitting. But I have this insatiable urge to have a creative life and to, just to see the beauty in things. And I think this is amazing. This opportunity to do this is amazing. Amazing. Colors, man, I'll read your last few comments. Color choices have definitely changed over the Wardrobe Toolbox. Yes, and we've enjoyed seeing that, Amanda, too, actually. I'm loving trying new colors for my knits. But isn't it nice that you spent a while? I enjoyed watching you spend a while really dig in to some of those colors that you knew were working for you. And I think there's a lot of comfort in there. And I feel like over some of those years, there was a lot of comfort to be found doing that. And then watching the change and exploring into other colors, and then still diving back to the others, and then coming out like a rubber band out and in. It's such an interesting thing to watch. And I think we can reflect on ourselves and see how we do that too. Gauge, says Anna. No, I'm getting more confident. I do swatch now. Brilliant. And guess what? The cardigans are fitting better. That's good news, Anna. Brilliant. Okay, everybody, I will catch you next week, Thursday. And So the doors will open on the 18th. I'll send you emails about it, so you don't have to be panicking about whether you're in or not. There are 10 days to join. Everybody who joins will be invited to come to our last knit night for season 6. So everybody will be invited to join the knit night. You'll automatically, once you're in, and there's a little bit of a kerfuffle in the beginning as we try and get everybody into the Facebook group that wants to join the lounge. So we'll let everybody into that straight away as well. And then the new season, I'll give you all these details again, so you don't have to remember this, but the new season will begin in the first full week of April. And I think that's the week leading up to Easter. I'm pretty sure it's that week. So I think it's 3 more weeks after this. There are 3 more weeks. So 10 days for the doors to be open. Don't panic. There's no time. There's no numbers limit. So if you want to join, you can join. And you do get those 2 options. You can join month to month if that works for you, or you could just have it's just a slightly cheaper if you wanted to join for the whole season. It's completely up to you. I don't mind what you do. Alrighty, if you're already in, yes, and I will send you numerous emails about this, people inside Wardrobe Toolbox, because this is always confusing. If you're in, do nothing. Just stay there. Sit tight, and it'll just roll. We're just going to roll over. We're going to roll over into the new season, and you're going to stay on the same subscription price you're already paying. Everything will stay the same for you. You just roll over, let's go, and we start a new season, and we just take a breath, and we think, right, we love a new beginning. Let's go. And off we go with season 7. Okay, everybody, I will catch you later. Have a lovely, lovely week. The sun is shining here. It's rather lovely and beautiful and warm. And I'm knitting like the wind, and it's sitting next to me, my knitting, and I'm actually going to go back and do some more right now. Okay, I will see you later. Bye, everyone.